Yeah, hi. It's Roy from New York. Suffolk County, to be more specific. Welcome to my home. As you can see, we try to keep things somewhat natural here. No herbicides or pesticides. However, my family and I are keeping a low profile these days. It appears that public officials have us in their sights. Why? Because of what's below my feet. A septic system. Public officials have claimed that my family and neighbors are polluting our groundwater and causing all types of environmental problems with septic systems like mine. So what do you think? Well, the truth may surprise you. So let's dig into this and take a look at what's really going on.
So here's the area where my neighbors and I live. The property is located 20 feet above groundwater. We have excellent soils for drainage, and we have a population density of about one house for every 2 acres of property. These are all criteria that would normally substantiate the use of conventional on-site septic systems. However, we've been told by public officials that we'll have to abandon our septic systems and either build a sewage treatment plant or install advanced on-site treatment. For years, public officials have been telling us that the existing septic systems are at the root of our problems in our estuaries and marine environment.
There is an overabundance of water quality impairment. There's hardly a region across all of Long Island that has been immune to water quality impairment. And in that case, one could call this a crisis. In fact, I think we would call it a crisis.
These problems include algae blooms, toxic algae blooms, dead dogs from harmful algae blooms, dead fish, loss of the clamming industry, and yes, even erosion.
We know the underlying cause of all of these events, everything happening here, is excessive nitrogen loading. And the science is very clear on that. And in almost every case, the source of that nitrogen is from wastewater.
So, if in almost every case the source of the problem is wastewater, and we stop the discharge of wastewater, shouldn't that solve the problem? But wait, didn't we do that already? We sewered the entire South Shore from Queens to Oakdale and removed all the wastewater discharges to groundwater. Removing all the septic systems did not solve the problem. If septic systems like mine are not causing the problems, then what is causing the problem? As we'll see, there are several suspects. Here are some of the variables that can contribute to the water quality impairment described by Stony Brook University. These variables may be part of a natural cycle of events. For example, in the case of fish kills, it is documented that schools of fish will migrate to areas that have a more abundant food supply and can overwhelm the available oxygen supply, resulting in fish kills. This is not caused by septic systems. Public officials recommend 2 types of sewage treatment, either a sewage treatment plant or an advanced on-site treatment system, like the one shown. These types of on-site systems are complex and require pumps, maintenance, and electricity to operate. They range in cost between $20,000 and $30,000, plus a yearly maintenance cost. Here's a homeowner trying to maintain their own system to avoid the maintenance fee. A new sewage treatment plant is expected to cost over $100,000 per home, plus the cost of a yearly sewer tax. Some people even cast doubt on the ability of the plants to adequately treat wastewater.
Because treated sewage isn't treated for PFAS chemicals, it's not treated for 1,4-dioxane chemicals, it's not treated for pharmaceutical drugs and personal care chemicals, and a lot of the times, most of the times, it's not even treated for nitrogen.
So, if the sewage treatment plants and advanced on-site systems can't treat the water, where does that leave conventional systems like mine? Actually, according to the science, including peer-reviewed studies, the conventional systems can do a very good job of treating our wastewater. Of course, they have to be installed properly and under the right environmental conditions. Scientific studies suggest a 75 to 96% reduction in nitrogen loading from septic systems. This is data from a US EPA document that shows the ability of a simple sand filter like a leaching pool to remove constituents of concern from wastewater. We see substantial reductions in biological oxygen demand, solids, nitrogen, bacteria, viruses, organic chemicals, and heavy metals. So how does this compare with sewage treatment plants and advanced on-site septic systems? It certainly warrants further investigation, which has not been done. With what we knew, we questioned the need to abandon our existing septic systems. Public officials agreed with our assessment of conditions, but told us they had done a plan with computer modeling. The model indicated that we were causing toxic algae blooms and other problems, and our septic systems had to go. Here's a map from the plan, generated by the computer model. The pink area along the shoreline is designated as a priority area for sewers and advanced systems. My community is in that area. So how do you argue with a computer model? As it turns out, a computer model can be wrong and can be misused. In his review of the wastewater plan, a noted scientist from Stony Brook University stated that the model was wrong and cannot be relied on. The problems with the plan and its computer modeling were confirmed by an independent group of scientists and engineers. They concluded that the assumptions used in the modeling program were inconsistent with good science and resulted in an exaggerated nitrogen loading from septic systems.
No, I have another question. Is it your position, I just want to be clear on that, is it your position that cesspools are okay? I mean, we have almost 400,000 failing cesspools that are injecting human waste into our water resources. Is it your position that we shouldn't do anything about them?
No.
This is almost a fair question. In reality, the wastewater, which is over 95% water, is introduced back into the ground through on-site septic systems. As previously discussed, these systems provide primary and secondary treatment of certain constituents found in the wastewater. As far back as 1978, a federally funded study, known as the 208 study, found it highly unlikely for septic systems to pollute the Suffolk County drinking supply. However, overpumping of the wells can cause constituents of concern to be drawn down deeper into the aquifer. Promoting recharge helps maintain groundwater equilibrium and promote a healthy ecosystem. The 208 study divided Suffolk County into groundwater management zones. On-site septic systems were permitted if the property was at least 1/2 acre or 1 acre in size, depending on which zone you were in. We are located in Zone 6, and we're required to have at least a 1 acre lot. We have 2 acres. So many of us have older septic systems that need repairs, and are either structurally failing or hydraulically failing, and need to be repaired or retrofit immediately. The county only gives us 2 options: build a sewage treatment plant or install one of the complex and cost-prohibitive on-site systems that they have approved. These are not practical solutions for a household that has sewage backing up into their homes. If public officials really want to solve this problem, they should provide funding for upgrades of existing septic systems to conventional standards, in accordance with the written standards for replacements and retrofits promulgated by the Suffolk County Department of Health Services and with the Article 6 population density requirements. These upgraded systems will provide enhanced primary and secondary treatment, not afforded the older substandard systems. With the upcoming increase in sales tax, we have asked the county to fund these upgrades.
The 2020 wastewater plan does not include conventional septic systems in its wastewater treatment strategy, which in many cases is the most cost-effective and practical method of treatment. The plan does not recommend repairing, maintaining, or funding conventional septic systems. The other options of sewage treatment plants and IA systems are not always practical or financially feasible for homeowners who need their on-site systems fixed immediately. This oversight of the plan is a problem for the homeowners who are faced with failing on-site septic systems in emergency situations.
To complete its wastewater strategy, the county should include conventional systems, which have certain advantages. When the advanced on-site systems are compared with the conventional septic systems, the conventional system comes out on top. However, the advanced on-site systems have the advantage of providing more nitrogen removal prior to discharge into the ground when they're operating properly. The advanced treatment system may also prolong the life of the soil treatment unit and will encourage better management of the system. However, the savings in cost and maintenance override these advantages, especially when considering the statistical insignificance of the nitrogen removal and the flaws in the nitrogen load computer model.
But we long for the day when Suffolk County will no longer be known as the septic capital of the world.
I want to have human waste in my drinking water. Thank you.
Of course, no one wants to drink human waste, and here in Suffolk County, we do not. Our water supply comes mostly from the deep Magathie Aquifer, which is naturally protected. Water drawn from the Magathie is highly purified and filtered and naturally separated from wastewater contaminants. As described, there's a time and a place for conventional septic systems in the wastewater strategy. We ask public officials to follow the science and ignore the hype. Providing funding for repair of existing septic systems is a logical choice.